Welcome back to the Upper Echelon Podcast where we keep it real and we keep it jiggy over here. Cause why? Cause we ain't never ever scared. Please hit that like button on your way in. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Also make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of any time that I live stream or anytime I post new content. Let's get into the topic, y'all. I told y'all I was coming live tonight. I told y'all I don't watch the Super Bowl. I don't have no interest in football. So I'm guessing the people that's here with me don't have no interest in the soup. Like I'm so out of the loop. The Super Bowl is tonight, right? That's how much I'm out of the loop and don't care. Like I'm just assuming that it's today. Like I don't even know who is playing. Like that's how bad it is. I never watched the Super Bowl. I never watched football. I might catch like some clips here and there of the halftime show if it's like a artist that I'm actually interested in seeing. But other than that, like I could care less. I don't understand football. I don't get the rules. I don't know the terminology. So I just don't watch it. I feel like some people just watch it just because it's like a cultural thing. But if you don't watch football all the time and you only watch it for the Super Bowl, I think that's kind of weird. What's going on, everybody that's in the room? What's happening? What's going on, Lysander? Hey, Robin Lotts. Hey, Doris Downton. Hey, Lawanda. Christina Mills. A. Stokes. Bronx Girl. Amber. Pammy Pooh. What's going on, you guys? So, y'all know for the past couple days, I've been pretty hard on Monique. I still stand 10 toes down on what I feel about Monique. I still feel like she was out of order with the whole situation with DL Hughley. I still feel that way. I'm going to continue to feel that way. However, I gotta give props when props are due. And the facts are is just that, Monique definitely knocked it out of the park with the Dark Matter tour. She got a standing ovation, and for me what that meant so much to, I'm sure, not just me but the Black community. What's going on, Big Blueberry Boots? Because it shows that going up against a person in power, going against the quote unquote establishment, if that's what you want to call it, does not necessarily mean your career is over, and that you can't progress and continue to be successful just because you decided to speak up for yourself. And I think that really motivated and inspired a lot of young artists, and not young artists, I'm sorry, but young entertainers that are coming up behind Monique. And I think that Monique has made it very clear, where, some people say that some of the things that she does is self-serving. In some ways, I agree with that. In some ways, I don't. I don't know if you all caught Tasha K's commentary on the situation, but that's kind of where she was leaning towards, that a lot of the things that Monique does and the boycotts and all of that is really just self-serving. I personally don't necessarily believe that. I think that she had absolutely... Oh, thank you, Big Blueberry Boots. I did monetize. Thank y'all for reminding me. I need that. I think that the things that she did and the stand that she took against Oprah, and against Lee Daniels was completely needed and necessary. I did express how I felt about how that conversation between herself, her husband, or her daddy, and Tyler Perry went. I didn't necessarily agree with what they were saying to Tyler Perry on that phone call. If you missed it, check it out. I did a live on that yesterday. However, with this particular situation with Lee Daniels and Oprah, I am completely proud of Monique for standing 10 toes down, standing her ground, and not being intimidated by people who are in power and people who have a bigger influence than her. And it shows that by standing on what she believed in, that she got where she wanted to be. Now, I did not necessarily know how she got onto the Dark Matter tour. After doing a little bit of digging and research, watching a couple of videos from some other bloggers, I see that basically when Cat Williams was on the Club Shay Shay podcast, Monique and her husband was watching that podcast. After they were done watching that podcast, they then called Cat Williams, and they basically let him know, like, I really enjoyed the interview. You spoke on some real stuff. Your interview was genuine. It was authentic. You wasn't scared in what you were saying. You kept it real. And I guess they made the deal that she was going to be on the Dark Matter tour on that day. If a lot of you guys don't know, Monique, it wasn't just on the Dark Matter tour, but Tori Hart was also on the Dark Matter tour. You got to give Cat Williams his props for reaching out to Black female women comedians and giving them a spot and giving them a chance to showcase their talent and to get back out there in front of people and do what they got to do to make some money. You know what I'm saying? So Cat Williams has always been one of those people that roots for the underdog. I mean, if you think about it, Cat Williams is cool with and has worked with and supports Lunel. Do I have any moderators in the room? If I do, somebody's in the chat saying that they selling feet pics and that they on OnlyFans. Can y'all get rid of that person? I don't know what's going on. I usually don't get weird stuff like that in my chat, so I don't know what that's about. But let me see. Do I have any moderators in here? Yeah, Big Blueberry Boots is a moderator. Let me see if I can get rid of this person. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm like, OnlyFans feet pics for $50. What's going on? All right, they out of here. So I want to show you guys, and let me tell you, this moment in Monique's career really did, bring about some feelings in me where I was like, man, this is a proud moment for Black history. You know what I mean? I was saying that Cat Williams also reaches out to comics that I don't want to say of comics that are forgotten, but I want to say comics that are not as popular. He's expressed on many of occasions how he really does not like Tiffany Haddish, and he really doesn't like her because it's almost like she just shot to the top and her success was excelled kind of just out of nowhere, and he feels like she didn't really deserve the accolades that she was getting, because he said that technically Tiffany Haddish really has never had a successful special on any platform. She's not very good at stand-up. She doesn't really write her own jokes. She got a lot of accolades for the movie Girls Trip, but that's not something that she wrote. So it's like she's getting all of these accolades and she's getting put above all of these other women comedians who are about 59 times more talented than she is. So I kind of agree with him on that. I don't have nothing against Tiffany Haddish. The only thing I don't like about Tiffany Haddish is I don't like the image that she tries to portray and she tries to sell. It's like that whole ratchet thing and all of that. It's like, okay, it's a time and a place. And I remember she came to an award show and she had chicken and hot sauce in her purse. And I'm like, this whole ghetto narrative, it's like it's getting old. Like, it's funny sometimes, but sometimes it's just over the top and it's a bit too much. You know what I'm saying? But let's review. Let's take a look at Monique on her first night on the Dark Matter tour. I really couldn't find any I couldn't find no footage of Tori Hart, but I know Tori Hart was like on 3 shows during the Dark Matter tour, and she also did very well. All right, players. So Monique. So that's Monique at the Dark Matter tour. As you can see, she got a standing ovation from the crowd. What's going on, Sexy Ray? What's going on, Good Morning Gorgeous, and everybody else that came in the room? I really feel like she deserved this moment. Monique is an extremely talented person. She's funny. She's a very talented actress. She can really switch up and step out of her comfort zone. She can do comedy, she can do drama, she can do suspense. And then not only that, but she's a great stand-up comedian. Do I think that her last Netflix special was good? Not really. Terry Dow says then she tried to make comment earn her by chasing by earn her by chasing while in a relationship with him, and it backfired completely. Glad Common moved on from that. Yeah, I almost totally forgot that Common was in a relationship at a certain point with Tiffany Haddish. I think he done moved on to what's her name? She's from Chicago too. Damn. How am I not remembering her name? Like the American somebody. I don't know why I'm not remembering her name. She's extremely famous. She won American Idol, I believe she won over Fantasia. What's her name? Jennifer Hudson. Thank you. Yeah, so I think he's with Jennifer Hudson now. I think he actually came on her show not too long ago. I really didn't think that Common and Tiffany Haddish really were a couple that made sense, but hey. But yeah, so I think that Monique is extremely talented. If I'm being honest, I know you guys are probably gonna jump down my throat for this, but if I'm gonna speak on something, I gotta speak for real, and I gotta tell you how, like, my true feelings on the situation. In some instances, I do believe that sometimes, not all the time, that Monique does take things personally when she should not. Now, sometimes I think that she's right. Sometimes I don't think that she's right. I remember it was an interview with Cat Williams where he kind of explained, okay, Amber, okay, I always get confused. Like, did Fantasia win or did Jennifer win? I always get confused because they're both so successful. I don't remember who actually won. It's almost like they both won, hell, because they're both so successful. But I remember this interview that Cat Williams did about 5 years ago where he kind of like went in on one of the hosts on the radio show. And that was really, highlighted him going in on her, and it was funny. I'm gonna play it in a minute. However, he did say some things that really made a lot of sense. And I'm gonna play that. He made a lot of sense with what he was saying about the situation with Netflix and why Netflix offers certain comedians certain things, and why they don't offer comedians other things. Basically, yeah, Wanda Smith. Basically, Netflix does not look at your accolades. Netflix doesn't look at you and say, oh, you've done Queens of Comedy, you did the Parkers, you've been in the industry for 20 plus years, you did Precious, you've won awards. They don't look at that. Netflix more so looks at numbers. And another thing that people don't realize about Netflix is that Netflix does not typically reach out to the talent. The talent typically reaches out to Netflix. So when you see a special for a comedian, it's not because Netflix reached out to them. More times than not, it's because the talent agent, the manager, the whoever reached out to Netflix to sell them the special. And they decide what they're going to offer for that special to stream it on their platform. And that's usually how it works. Netflix typically does not say, oh, let me go find a talent to stream on this platform. It doesn't work that way. Typically, the talent reaches out to Netflix. So Cat Williams did speak on that. And he's, basically in so many words said, well, you're reaching out to them. They didn't reach out to you. So if you're reaching out to them and they give you an offer, then that's just the offer. If you don't like it, then you can move on. I think Wanda Sykes people reached out to Netflix at a certain point in time. And Wanda Sykes didn't necessarily agree with what they were offering, and she kind of just moved on. And she sold, well, not sold, but she presented her special to another platform. I don't necessarily remember which platform it was. It may have been Tubi or something. I don't know, but she went somewhere else because she didn't like what she was being offered. Let's listen to really quick what Steve Harvey, what his take on it is, with this whole situation with Monique. Raquel said Fantasia and Jennifer Hudson are both powerhouse singers. Okay. And I want to see what you guys think about I want to see what you guys think about what Steve Harvey had to say about well, he never really said a name, but he kind of spoke on his opinion regarding comedians and the beef, quote unquote, the beef that comedians are dealing with currently.
Stress what's being labeled as comedy beefs. This thing that's going around now about comedy beefs, it's only coming really from a few people.
Nope, not gonna play that. Sorry, it's music in the background. Can't play that. My stuff will get demonetized, so I'm gonna summarize. So basically, what's going on, Blessed Queen? Basically, what he was saying was that a lot of comedy beefs, especially with comedians who are older comedians or comedians who've been in the industry for a really long time, a lot of times those beefs are ignited just due to the fact that they're looking for some traction for their name. So in so many words, he's basically saying that a lot of these beefs are pulled out of nowhere because that's the only way to bring their name about. They're not getting as much attention as they were getting back in the day. And by beefing with another comedian, that could possibly bring some traction to them and some attention to their work or whatever they're getting ready to get themselves into. So that's kind of what Steve Harvey was saying. He was also saying that as far as because he said this, as if you want to be honest, a lot of like the older comedians like Cedric the Entertainer, DL Hughley, himself, Steve Harvey, Monique, basically some more, everybody that was like back in the day really, really hot. People are not really paying attention to like that. And that's what he was saying. Yes, there is a certain demographic of people that deem these people still talented and still pay attention to their work and are willing to still give them a chance to still be out there and do things that that's going to cause traction to their name and continue their career. If you ask me, I don't necessarily agree with Steve Harvey. I don't like Steve Harvey. I think that Steve Harvey, if he may be he in a close running with Oprah. He's in a close running with Oprah. So, I have my feelings about Steve Harvey. I'm not going to really get into it, but I disagree with that. I think that Monique still has a huge fan base. I think that DL Hughley also has a really huge fan base. And I think that they've branched off from comedy and they've gone into different arenas. Like Monique, she's in the comedy arena, yeah, but she's also branched off into different acting roles that show that she is diverse, such as the movie that she just did that was produced by Lee Daniels, because her and Lee Daniels have reconciled. So I believe it's called The Reading, and it was like a psychological thriller or suspense from my understanding. I did see parts of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but the reviews and stuff like that say that it was pretty good. So yeah, so Monique is doing other things. Then you got Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey started off with stand-up comedy, branched off into his own television show, branched off into his own radio station, and just doing it big, you know what I mean? Even though I really don't like Steve Harvey. And then you have who else? Oh, and then when I was speaking on DL Hughley, I mean, DL Hughley over the years has really showcased his intellect, his talent, just to show that the dude is still pretty popular. I mean, he's or I don't know if he still is, but at a certain point, he was a regular on the DJ Vlad podcast. So yeah, the comedians, they may be older, they may not be necessarily dominating in some of the more popular or younger crowd when it comes to comedy, but they're still definitely, popping. You know what I mean? People are still gonna pay to go see Monique. People are still gonna pay to see DL Hughley. People are still and rest in peace, Bernie Mac. But I gotta shout out Bernie Mac because he's a Chicago native. If Bernie Mac was still alive, you can't pay me to believe that Bernie Mac wouldn't still be popping. Bernie Mac would definitely still be popping. He was way too talented. But then you got your younger comedians like 85 South. You got what's the comedian's name? Whose girlfriend just passed away from his girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure if they were married. Just passed away from plastic surgery. I can't think of his name, which is crazy because he's uber popular. And then you have just hilarious. You got this younger crowd of comedians, and I think that's what Steve Harvey was speaking on, which is true. However, they serve a different demographic of people. Like me, I'm in my 30s. When Queens of Comedy and Kings of Comedy came out, I was a little kid. However, I remember it. DC Young Fly, yeah. Thank you guys. However, I remember it being super popular. I remember watching it, even though I was probably too young to be watching it. I remember watching it over and over and over again because it was so hilarious. And the people that are in my age group and older, 30s, 40s, even 50s, that remember Kings and Queens of Comedy are always going to take the opportunity to pay to go see a DL Hughley or a Monique or some more. As a matter of fact, I want to say it was like last summer, I just went to go see some more Earthquake. Who else was on Tony Rock, which everybody was excited to go see Tony Rock because we thought that he was going to be speaking on the Chris Rock situation because it was right after the slap, but he actually didn't speak on it because they ended up coming to Chicago. It was a dope show. So yeah, with Steve Harvey, like sometimes when he speaks on things, I really feel like at this point Steve Harvey is most definitely a puppet for the industry. He may as well just put on some permanent tap dance shoes, in my opinion. Let's get into what's going on, Ronithia. Hey, you know what else I want to do tonight? After I get done reviewing this stuff, I think I want to do. I might come back, but I think I want to do a live reaction to this viral video, and I want to see what y'all think about it. But that'll be later. So I want to show y'all something, right? Now, Cat Williams has proven to be pretty impartial when it comes to Monique. Nola, that's one person I need to go see is my boy Mike Epps. I need to go see Mike Epps. He is super funny to me. That's one person that I want to see. I really want to see. I don't know if you guys are. I'm big on my Chicago comedians, obviously, because I'm from Chicago. I'm a Chicago native. I'm born, raised here, and live here now. But I love my Chicago comedians. I don't know if you guys know who Godfrey is. Godfrey is so hilarious to me. He may not be as huge as other comedians in them right now, but he's super funny. He's really intelligent. He's smart. He has his own podcast, his own YouTube channel that I watch all the time. And then another Chicago native comedian that I really like, obviously, because I've spoken on this in the past, is Corey Holcomb. I love Corey Holcomb. He is hilarious to me. He's probably one of my favorite comedians. Now let me pull this up. This is something. Now this is the interview with somebody just told me this lady's name. I don't know why I'm having an issue with names tonight, but Cat Williams. This is the interview that basically went viral. It's like every time Cat Williams speaks, he goes viral. But this interview, he went. Oh, Wanda, somebody. What's her last name? Wanda. Let me see. Let me look up in my chat. Well, he basically went off. He didn't go off, but he clowned her. Hold on, y'all. I can't think of her name. Is it Wanda Smith? Let me see. I can't remember. Sykes. Wanda. No, not Wanda Sykes. Damn, I don't even think that's her name. I don't even know if her name is Wanda. I totally forgot. I don't know. But anyway, so this interview basically went viral. He said a lot of real things in this interview. The thing that I liked about this interview the most is not necessarily the back and forth that he had with Wanda, but it was really more so what he said about Netflix and some of the things that he was speaking on within the industry. Now we know that this was 5 years ago, and we know that today Monique reached out to him and he actually allowed her to be on his Dark Matter tour. So we know that these people, that I don't think that him and Monique have really ever had any beef, but even though it seems like they have a decent relationship, he did speak on taking things personally in the industry. Now, some things are personal, like what Oprah has attempted to do to Monique's career, that's personal, right? But some things like the situation with Netflix is not personal. Now, Monique and Charlemagne kind of got into it when she went on the Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne was he wasn't doing it in the most respectful way, and I think that's why she reacted the way she did. But Charlemagne, in so many words, was saying the same thing that Cat Williams is saying. So let's listen to it.
Sure, your thoughts on Netflix. I mean, they're giving deals. Like we just heard Tiffany Haddish has got a deal as well. And I mean, they're opening up things to comics and, for them to open up a door like that. What are your honest thoughts about Netflix?
Jorge has always put the ones he loves first, but he's let his own dental care take a back seat. Time for a shift.
Well, everybody has to understand that Netflix doesn't have an opinion on stand-up comedy. They base what they pay you by the amount of ticket sales for your last tour. So Monique's last tour had 316,000 tickets. Therefore, that's what she got offered. My last tour had $2.4 million tickets. And so that's what the offer was.
Wow.
So if people understand that it's not personal.
Personal, right.
Then they could just,
I didn't know that.
For free, take their ass to work and get their numbers up.
Yeah. Dude,
but Netflix don't call nobody. That's the joke. The joke is Netflix ain't giving me. First of all, Netflix ain't calling you off. It's Coca-Cola knock on people's door to see which they having today.
So they go by those ticket sales. That's dope.
What else could they go by?
Yeah.
And
I thought it was like popularity.
What comedian don't think everybody can't wait for their next special? Who don't think they got something to say? The fact of the matter is, what makes a great comedy special is if 100 people talk at the same time that you talking, are you saying something different than them people are saying?
No.
Because if you are, then you deserve a special. And if you don't, you're going to find out you're not special. Because they're going to let you do your special, Gerard Carmichael, but nobody's going to watch it. They're going to let you be a star, Lil Rel, but you ugly. And white people don't believe in ugly stars. They think you have to be somebody that women want to sleep with and men want to be. But because we black, they say, oh, you don't even deserve that. So you get Kevin Hart, Lil Rel, Gerard Carmichael, all in a row, Hannibal Buress, just dudes that no woman would talk to in Lenox Mall, let alone you making them movie stars. Why? Because ain't nobody gonna sleep with them. You only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet. She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody. And they already ready to down Monique and up somebody who has showed them girls trip. Did you think?
Now, this is what I found interesting about what he just said. I found it interesting that he was able to say what he said about Netflix, which is completely factual. Now, this shows that he is impartial. What's going on, everybody that came to the room? Hey, Creisha. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Lux Pearl. Thank you for that. Hey, Mav Deuce. I'm sorry if Nanette, welcome. Raquel, welcome. Candy Kisses. Nola. Hope I didn't miss anybody. So he's completely impartial. I mean, yeah, clearly he's taken up for Monique, and he's taken up for her work, and he's saying that she deserves all of these different accolades. She deserves to be put in certain positions that she's not put in because of her aesthetic. But before that, he was still able to speak on the situation with Netflix. Like, it is what it is. The truth is just the truth. And the truth is that some things are not personal, Monique. Some things are just business. And the situation with Netflix was business. Yeah, you're a legend. You're a legendary comedian. You're a legendary actress. You're award-winning. But Netflix looks at numbers. And that's all they look at. Not to mention, you reached out to them. Netflix does not reach out to you. You're trying to shop your special to Netflix, right? So he's speaking on some things aren't personal, but now he's speaking on some things are, and some things are strategic. Some things are put out there and done a certain way because the way it appeals to the masses. Some people are not marketable because of their aesthetic, right? So let's listen real quick what he said about Tiffany Haddish.
she wrote Girls Trip Goofball?
Right.
Or do you think that was already a script and they handed it to her? It's up to you, whatever you want to believe. I'm the introduction to Tiffany Haddish in the movie School Dance. The clip for School Dance has been seen more times than the movie has. That's just a fact.
But the movie the Girls Trip movie.
Yes, ma'am. The one with with 3 of our greatest Black actresses in it. You mean that one?
Right. But I'm just saying, Tiffany Haddish.
Ma'am, you could have had that role, and everything that happened would have happened unless you thought you were necessary to write the Saturday Night Live monologue. I'm a writer. I only care about what you write. I don't care about what you read. Everybody can read that can read.
What did you think about the movie? I laughed from beginning to end. I felt
in other words, he's critiquing her as a comedian because Tiffany Haddish does not write her. Well, the accolades that she got for Girls Trip, he's not impressed by that because she didn't write it. It's just a script that was handed to her. So in his opinion, it makes no sense that she's getting more accolades than all of these other legendary comedians that are in existence, such as Monique, Lunel, and the like.
I thought it was a great script when I saw it in 2004.
Right. Wow.
In 2004. Wow.
Yeah, I have it.
I'm so happy for her though, because
that's what it do.
That's baby, I tear up thinking about the break that she got. And to see her do her thing.
She passed 46 female Black comedians that I know personally that I put on tour who have a hard time getting a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A after they headlined 7 shows at a club for $2,500 a week.
But people like real, and that's why they like her.
Like?
They love real
because everybody's real then. So don't trip.
No, they like
wherever.
Tiffany.
Hey, this dude is funny. He's talking about some don't trip.
You at under the sound of my voice? Real. Do you have a real co-worker?
Right.
Do you have a ratchet friend? Do you have a sister? Do you have a cousin? Do you have a nephew? Do you have a niece? Is they so ghetto? In
other words, Tiffany Haddish not doing nothing special other than portraying the Black hood ghetto girl ratchet aesthetic. Like okay, like that's something that we've always have known has been in existence. Everybody has a ratchet person in their family or a ratchet friend, but all of a sudden it's really special, and all of a sudden it's talent when Tiffany Haddish does it.
Become marketable. Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt. The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy, and then all of a sudden divorced him, then said he abused her, then wrote a book, then said he didn't, and then now we're at Brad Pitt. So hey, you can say whatever you want. She said she got a disease for JJ. Don't nobody check for that.
You know what? Good morning, Gordon. Is the thing that you right. The thing that made Cat Williams even more funny is his very much so nonchalant tone in his voice. That's really what makes him funny. Hey, Melanin related. Anyway, so I think that he's speaking all facts here about Tiffany Haddish. It ain't nothing like particularly profoundly like talented or amazing about Tiffany Haddish, but just due to the fact that it is true, from my understanding, Tiffany Haddish was married at one point to a Jewish man or a white man or something like that. And that could have gave her a head start, who knows? And he also said that a lot of the women that he tried to put on, Tiffany Haddish surpassed those female comedians. And he's kind of just giving his breakdown of why he thinks that is. Let's fast forward to when he went in on Wanda. We got to watch that because Wanda tried it. Damn, here go these commercials.
If you want your taxes done right and your guaranteed biggest refund, you need to visit free.
She didn't do as much cooking.
It is tax season. Don't y'all be giving y'all taxes to y'all baby daddies and letting them flip it. All right, let me see. Is this the part?
Great cook.
Aw. What it takes to make simple. Aren't boys simple? I'm going lasagna. So then you have to lie.
That's right. Kissable lips.
So okay, so what do you cook, Kat?
All right, so
I'm trying to see what part.
to be able to protect a squad of black
Hold on, let me see.
opinions like 4 of these. So you might make
Whatever.
Have you ever
Broccoli, they like my broccoli. And
Because it seemed like her and Cat Williams, the energy seemed kind of tense from the beginning. Hold on.
they can be.
the young children get that going lasagna? So then you have to do a vegetarian. And I got a daughter that doesn't do dairy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you're cooking for whoever is 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
And then you're making the adjustments from there. So you might make lasagna, but you understand that only 4 or 5 people out of 8 are going lasagna. So then you have to do a vegetarian lasagna just so that you can cut the difference.
Damn, I can't even play. I can't even play it, y'all. Let me see if I could. Hold on one second, because all of this music, that's the frustrating part about YouTube. They'll show demonetize you for a little bit of music. Like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Her name Wanda Smith, right? Yeah, it did start with the cooking because he was trying to clown. Okay, let me see if I can find it without the music. Hold on, y'all. Man, I can't find it without the music, man. I just can't play it with the music because my video gonna get demonetized. It was funny though because she did try to clown him first. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm just gonna post the link to it or something like that. But most of y'all seen it already. Where we at? We at 40 minutes now. Okay, so we went over basically everything with the Dark Matter tour. I think that I think that Monique did an awesome job on that. I think that she definitely got all of her accolades and everything that she deserved. She most definitely deserved a standing ovation. And then even though I am on DL Hughley's Madu says there are a lot of music. Nah, but it's not a lot, but that the instrumental for You Know Nan with Trick Daddy and Trina is playing in the background. So I don't know if I'm gonna get hit for that. So I'm not even gonna risk it. Hey, what's going on, Miss DC? So hey, Hollywood Herb. So yeah, even though I do somewhat agree with DL Hughley, or not somewhat, I pretty much just agree with DL Hughley. I can still give Monique her props. DL Hughley said that she hasn't written a joke in so many years, but from what I saw from the Dark Matter tour, Monique told jokes. She told good jokes. The build was awesome. She came out, her energy was off the chain. So yeah, shout out to Monique. She still got it. She most definitely still got it. Now, when it comes, I found this interview that I'm getting ready to play really funny because Oprah has gone out of her way to try to blackball this black woman, Monique, from the industry because Monique refused to do something that she wanted her to do, which was do a promotional tour basically for the movie Precious. She said no to going to the Sundance Festival to promote the movie. I think the promotional tour was being put together, or it was put together by Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lionsgate. And she said this herself. She said no to some really big influential people in the industry, and due to that, she was blackballed. I believe everything that Monique is saying about that. I believe that she was blackballed, and I think that it's a shame that this is coming from our own people. When these black people get in the industry, and this is just my opinion from what I see from Oprah, when these black people get in the industry and they're in the industry for so long and they get a certain amount of money and they gain a certain amount of influence, they forget that they're black. They forget that they're black. They forget that they made it through the door, but they were allowed through the door, and they can be taken out of the room at any moment, and that they only have a certain amount of power. Their power is limited, and they forget that. And I thought that this particular interview that I'm getting ready to play was so hilarious, because this was a moment in which Oprah was reminded that she was black. She ended up going to Switzerland to Tina Turner's wedding. She went to this place in Switzerland called Zurich. And she left her hotel. She decided to go into a boutique. And when she went into the boutique, she wanted to see a certain purse. The person that was selling the bag did not want to get the purse down off the shelf so that Oprah can see it, because the Oprah show does not air in Switzerland. So she does not, so they didn't know who Oprah was. All they knew was she was some black lady that came in the store. Oprah said that she was dressed to the nines. You know, she didn't look like she didn't have any money or that she couldn't afford the bag. It was clearly because she was black. And Oprah was kind of perturbed about this situation. But I thought that situation was something that Oprah needed to go through, because some of these black folks in the industry do need a reminder. Thank you for that, Krisha, that they black. So let me play this interview really quick. And then Oprah comes back and apologizes to the boutique for basically putting them on blast. I don't know how people found out what boutique or store that Oprah went into, but that store got a lot of negative press because of what they did. Capricorn Mars says Tiffany wasn't funny on that movie at all, but she was funny a little bit on Night School. LOL. I laughing when she was at the stoplight in her car and called Kevin Hart a little black nigga. I haven't seen that movie, but it sounds funny. No, I haven't seen. I'm not a fan of Tiffany Haddish. I did see a Girl Strip though. Mavdu said, Upper, I think if I broke it down for you, you wouldn't go so hard on Monique on the DL thing, but I totally get why you're feeling how you felt. Yeah, I feel like Monique is wrong on the DL Hughley situation. At the end of the day, the whole situation basically stemmed from Monique being upset about being a headliner on a show. If you ask me, all of that stuff could have been handled behind the scenes. She didn't have to come out on stage and call the man GAY. She didn't have to bring his daughter into it. She didn't have to bring his wife into it. She didn't have to shame him for having a support dog. Like, she went too far. And so when DL decided to respond, everybody looks at DL like, oh my God, why are you saying that to a black woman? Okay, well, Monique should have done what she did. And to this day, she still has not given a proper apology to this day. So yeah, on that situation, that my opinion is probably not going to be swayed, because I've watched too much footage, too many interviews, and I just don't see my opinion being swayed on that topic. However, I am happy for Monique for the Dark Matter tour. Lisa Smith said everyone's head gets swollen. You still black, just rich. Period. We went over this not too long ago with the Jay-Z situation when he was on stage complaining about Beyonce not getting album of the year. Yeah, I think you guys are forgetting. You know, you're still black. You just got money and you just in the industry, but you're still black. A Life with Treasure said, Upper, do you feel that Steve was right or wrong the way he handled Monique? Oh, Steve Harvey. Oh no, Steve Harvey was absolutely wrong the way he handled Monique. I think that Steve Harvey is an industry puppet. I think that he's a coon. And that's it. I do not like Steve Harvey. I've expressed that in one of my past lives. I think he's the last person that need to be speaking on anything when it comes to racial matters in the industry, because a lot of the things that he said to Monique when she was on his show, he sounded like a coon. He sounded like a complete coon. And that's just allegedly. That's just how I feel about that. Like, how you gonna tell her, and basically in so many words, he told her that she needs to accept what they give them. She needs to stop being quote unquote problematic and calling her problematic because she's demanding to be compensated what she's owed. So no, I don't like Steve Harvey at all. Abdul said, yes, I know because you're strong-minded like me. Yeah, I try to open my mind up to certain things, but with some stuff, it's like, yeah, if I done looked at it, formed my opinion on it, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I respect everybody's opinion though. But let me play this interview real quick of Oprah being reminded that she's black, which I found very ironic, very funny. Let's see. I don't like this lady at all. Let's see. She's so problematic. Let's see. And now she want to complain about it not getting a purse.
I was in Zurich the other day at a store whose name I will not mention. And I was, let's see, I didn't have my eyelashes on, but I was in full Oprah Winfrey gear. I had my little Donna Karen skirt and my little sandals and all that. But obviously, the Oprah Winfrey show is not shown in Zurich. So this doesn't happen to me unless somebody obviously doesn't know that it's me. But I was in Zurich for Tina Turner's wedding. And I decided I'm going to leave the hotel. It's just me by myself. Stedman, wasn't there. And Gail wasn't there, no friends. I'm out by myself. And I go into a store, which shall remain unnamed. And I say to the woman, excuse me, may I see that bag right above your head? And she says to me, no, it's too expensive. And I said, no. See the black one, the one that's folded over. And she said, no, you don't want to see that one. You want to see this one because that one will cost too much. You will not be able to afford that. And I said, well, no, I really did want to see that one. And she refused to get it. She refused to get it. And she started to show me these other little bags. And I said, one more time I tried, I said, but I really do just really want to see that one. And she said, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. And I said, okay, thank you so much. You're probably right. I can't afford it. And I walked out of the store. Now, why did she do that? Why did she do that? Now, Gail, when I told Gail the story, Gail said, I would have gone back in there and made a Pretty Woman moment and said, big mistake. But then I thought, no, she'd get the commission, so I won't do that.
Yeah, I guess that's true, right?
This incident with Oprah Winfrey actually is very regrettable. Zurich Tourism does regret this incident, and we are well known worldwide as a world-class Swiss-made city, and also we are well known for a open-minded city, and this incident does not really help for a good image.
Atlanta Pimp Chronicles as
Yeah, so basically after they found out who she was, then they apologized for it. But she most definitely deserved that wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? She needed that because I feel like after a while, after being in the industry for so long, after let me say something. White people love Oprah. White folks love Oprah, and that's by no coincidence. She plays nice. She does not step outside of certain boundaries, and she has been in the industry so long that I feel like she's adopted some of their ways, where she's SHITing on her own people because they're not doing what she wants, and she's abusing that power. Like, yeah, I'm Oprah. So if you don't do what I say and you don't do it how I want you to do it and move how I want you to move, then this is going to happen to you. And so she deserved that wake-up call. Monique had absolutely no obligation to go and promote anything without compensation. Also, it was not in her contract. So Monique is 110% right about that. So Ma Abdul says she definitely absorbed their ways. Well, most definitely. She forgot. She was reminded that day. Oprah got her wake up moment. Nola Bunny said, Upper said she needed to go through that. She most definitely did. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining me and watching this. I may come live again tonight to do a reaction live, But for right now, just in case you guys didn't know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head over to 2K because 2K is live and he's talking about the main So Funny situation, and I most definitely want to hear that. So I'm about to get up out of here. What's going on, Jared? Hit the replay. I'm about to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. And then also, don't neglect to, if you can, donate to my Cash App is $Phoenix 20137 to help me or to support my channel. So I'm out of here, you guys. Thanks again for stopping what you were doing to come and support me and watch my live. Again, I'm getting ready to head over to 2K channel and see what he's talking about because I'm nosy. All right, y'all. Peace.